Have you ever imagined the lengths a desperate father would go to protect his family? This is the story of Mario, a man who faced an impossible choice and whose courage was tested in ways he could never have imagined. Before we begin, I invite you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on other incredible stories like this one. Stay with us until the end to discover a twist that will change everything. Mario was a simple man with a life marked by hard work and dedication to his family. His wife Anna and their children Sarah and Francesco were everything to him, but life was not easy. Debts piled up and work was less and less secure. Mario worked as a bricklayer, but with the economic crisis, his orders had dwindled to a minimum. One evening, while he was returning home, Mario received a phone call that changed everything. A cold and threatening voice told him that he had 24 hours to pay a gambling debt that he had never incurred. Otherwise, his family would pay with their blood. Desperate, Mario tried in every way to find the money, but it was useless. There was no one who could help him. That night, as he sat in the kitchen among unpaid bills and eviction notices, he found a business card he didn't remember taking. Quick solutions for difficult problems read the gold lettering. With his heart in his throat, Mario dialed the number. The voice on the other end answered immediately, proposing a deal. "We have a solution for you, Mario, but the price is high." Mario accepted without knowing what to expect. The next morning, he found himself in a fancy restaurant, sitting across from an elegant man who called himself the Wolf. €1,000, the Wolf said, pushing an envelope toward Mario. "In exchange for your daughter Sarah." Mario felt his world collapse. His first instinct was to refuse, but fear for his family made him hesitate. With shaking hands, he agreed. Life changed dramatically. Sarah was taken away, and Mario found himself living in a prison of guilt and remorse. Every night, nightmares haunted him. He heard Sarah's voice calling him, begging for help. Anna, unaware of the real reason for Sarah's disappearance, looked at him with a mixture of contempt and pain. "Where is our daughter, Mario?" she asked every day. "What happened to her?" Mario, unable to answer, took refuge in alcohol, hoping in vain to find some relief. One day, Anna, finding no answers, decided to involve the police. Detective Alberto took over the case. Alberto was an experienced policeman with a strong sense of justice and a determination that knew no bounds. As the investigation progressed, Mario struggled with his own guilt and desperation. One night, completely drunk, Mario decided to go to the police and confess everything. However, before he could do so, he was kidnapped by the Wolf's men and taken to an isolated villa. There, in a luxurious room, Mario found Sarah. But she was no longer the little girl he remembered. Sarah, hardened by her experiences, had become the Wolf's pupil. "Hello, Dad," she said, her voice cold. "Welcome to my world." Mario collapsed, feeling his heart breaking. Sarah told him how, instead of breaking, she had learned the Wolf's secrets, earning his trust. Meanwhile, Alberto continued to investigate, discovering pieces of a puzzle that led him closer and closer to the truth. He found clues that linked Mario to Sarah's disappearance and realized that something terrible had happened. One day, Sarah was summoned by the Wolf. "There's a traitor among us," she said, "and I want you to take care of him." Sarah knew that the traitor was her father. With a heavy heart, she accepted the task, but instead of killing Mario, she devised a plan. With Alberto's help, she set a trap for the Wolf. Let's stop for a moment. What would you do if you were Sarah? Write in the comments what you think Sarah should do ***. Sarah set up a fake crime scene, simulating Mario's death. When the wolf arrived to check, everything seemed in order, but a dull noise coming from a closet made the wolf suspicious. Sarah, in a desperate act, injured herself to distract him, managing to save her father. However, she knew that their safety was still in danger. Thanks to the timely intervention of Alberto and the police, the villa was surrounded and the wolf arrested. Mario and Sarah managed to escape, but their fight for redemption had just begun. In the end, Sarah and Mario find refuge thanks to Alberto. Over time, they managed to rebuild their lives, even if the scars of their experiences remain. Mario, heartbroken, tries to regain his family's trust, while Sarah, strengthened by her experiences, begins a journey of healing. In an unexpected twist, we discover that Il Lupo, in a final act of revenge, had left a cryptic message leading to a hideout filled with incriminating evidence against an entire organized crime network. Thanks to this, Alberto manages to dismantle the entire organization, bringing justice not only to Mario and Sarah, but to many other innocent victims. And so, Mario and Sarah's story ends with a sense of hope and redemption. As the months passed, Sarah began working as a volunteer at a center for troubled youth, helping boys and girls find a way out of situations similar to the one she had experienced. Every time she managed to wring a smile from those young people, she felt a little piece of herself returning to its place, as if she was slowly rebuilding the part of her that the wolf had tried to destroy. Mario, for his part, decided to devote himself to manual labor, helping to renovate houses for people in need. The sweat, toil, and satisfaction of seeing those walls rise again gave him a sense of purpose, a kind of tangible redemption for the mistakes he had made. Despite the difficulties and sleepless nights, father and daughter managed to find a new balance, rediscovering a peace that seemed impossible. And on that journey, they understood a fundamental truth. True courage is not being afraid, but being able to face it, one step at a time. Even if the past could not be erased, it could still be transformed into a starting point for a new life. A life made up of conscious choices, small but meaningful gestures, and a love that, against all odds, had managed to survive the deepest darkness. And in this, Mario and Sarah were not just victims or survivors, but real fighters, ready to build their future together, one day at a time. This story reminds us that even in the most desperate situations, the strength of love and courage can prevail. The road to redemption can be long and winding, but every step towards justice and truth is worth the sacrifice. Mario and Sarah teach us that, despite mistakes and moments of weakness, there is always a chance for redemption. It is a life lesson that we can all take with us. No matter how dark the night, the dawn will always bring new hope. Thanks, friends, for keeping us company. See you in the next video.